All right, Dolphins, the schedule is out. Let's see what we think. Hello, YouTube Nation, and welcome, Dolphins, to Finn's Temporal Focus. The schedule release was last night at 8 o'clock. I'll probably have this video out to you this afternoon after I get off of work. Unfortunately, still got to pay the bills. So we're going to get into it. Obviously, this won't be like a reaction because I had to write it down. I'm old school. Don't have the setup where I can just flip something on and go, oh, there's the schedule. So, you know, it's the old-timey notebook and pen for this guy. But I did, when I wrote them down, I tried, obviously I have an idea, but I didn't go into depth as I was writing them down, going, oh, this is this is that. I mean, we had some leaks earlier in the week. We know that we're playing Washington in, is it Madrid? Madrid, Spain, yeah. So we already knew that one. Everything else is kind of, we knew the teams, don't know when we're playing. We'll see if we're getting screwed again. I know I did see a 12 o'clock game in the early going in Miami. So, yay. Of course, we only had one last year. I know most teams get, I believe it's one request in the scheduling process to the NFL. I don't know whether it's granted to them or not is another story, but they at least get to make a request that, hey, I don't want to play here during this time, or I don't want to do this, or I'd rather do this. I know it's such a big deal. Buffalo, I know they had a fit over playing the game that we won where Josh Allen looked like he was ready to like burst into flames. He was exhausted coming off the field. Great moment for him and Tua, but and I get it. It's hot down there. My wife is a travel agent, so I've been to Florida quite a few times over the past year. Yeah, it's hot, but that's called home field advantage. The Dolphins. It's okay for them to go to New England in January or Buffalo in January, but Lord forbid they've got to be in Miami in 100-degree heat. It's where you play. That's why they call it home field advantage. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll see. I did see, like I said, I know there's a couple of games that we do have 12 o'clock in the early part of the schedule. I did notice that. I did notice that there was a couple of primetime games, which we'll talk about that. The fact that Miami does not do well in primetime games. But we're going to start, obviously, quickly, just going to hit on it. This is the preseason because the dates aren't out, I don't think, or set. Or at least when I looked it up, they weren't set. It just told you who you were going to be playing and everything was to be determined. But preseason at Chicago, at Detroit, and then at home in Jacksonville. So basically, if we're lucky, I know last couple of years we've had the practices with teams that before the preseason games. I know we did it with Atlanta, I think it was last year. So we'll see. Usually it's that middle game. They try to get that in. So maybe Detroit will agree to do that. Of course, we would be doing that in Detroit. It's been in Miami the last couple of years. But anyway, those are your three preseason games. Now, to get into the meat of the schedule, here we go. We open at Indianapolis Dome. That's okay. It's going to be a 12 o'clock game. And then we do have a 12 o'clock. New England will be playing in Miami in the heat. So New England got some guts. Yes, I'm giving Buffalo a hard time over this. Sorry, Ed. Anyway, then of course, at Buffalo for a Thursday night game. After that game, of course, it's going to be in Buffalo, but at least we're not going there in the cold, so it evens out. I'm okay with that. I'm glad we're getting Buffalo early. I'm also glad we're getting New England early because New England's still trying to figure things out, so that bodes well for us if Weaver can get our defense up to snuff. I still think this is a mediocre team. I'm not expecting a lot from this season. But hopefully it gets turned around a little bit. New England, just because of Vrabel, I still think they're going to win 2 games just on him alone. Hopefully it's not that one. But as I said, then we go to Buffalo. That's going to be a Thursday night game. And I'm glad we're getting them early. I will say that. And we're getting we're getting to not have to go into the cold. So it evens out. Who knows? Maybe Miami made a suggestion. Hey, we don't want to go to Buffalo in January. Then we're at home against New York. The Jets on a Monday night game. We'll see how that pans out. New York, of course, revamping everything. But with Aaron Glenn as the new coach, he seems like he's taking control of that team. So that's going to be interesting to see where they're at. Again, got them early, so they may not have everything going for them at that point. But I think they're going to be strong in the end. Of course, Buffalo's always strong. New England, I think they're going to be strong. I think this division's fixing to get really stout. Then we go to Carolina. It's a 12 o'clock game on Sunday. Then we're at home. Another 12 o'clock game. The Chargers will be coming in on a 12 o'clock game. Of course, not a real advantage. It gets pretty warm in California. So, but still, it's a home game, 12 o'clock. Excited about that. Then we go to Cleveland, 12 o'clock game. Shouldn't be that cold in Cleveland during that time. Then we go to Atlanta, 12 o'clock game. Dome, doesn't matter. Then Baltimore, Thursday night at home. So humidity may be an issue, but other than that, and it's Baltimore, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough game. Then we have Buffalo at home, 12 o'clock game. So at least they did give them a 12 o'clock game. Of course, at this point, you're looking at early October or late October, early November. So it's not going to be that hot. So maybe Bills fans can, chill as you can get in Miami. Then we go overseas. This is going to be 8:30 in the morning to Madrid, Spain. That will be against the Washington Commanders. That's going to be a tough game. But at least it's on a neutral site, so maybe we can pull off a little something there. Then we have the bye. And that's really cool. The bye is going to be so late in the season. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So week 12. That's a good spot for a bye. That's a good place to try and get healthy. Then we come back from Spain. We have the bye. Then we have New Orleans at home. 12 o'clock game. Okay. So then we are at the Jets. 12 o'clock. Now this is going to be the first December game, and then at Pittsburgh, that's going to be a Monday night game. In Pittsburgh, that's going to be cold, and that's going to be a problem. I think Pittsburgh still um, is they're always tough, regardless of what people say about them wanting to change coaches. Why? I mean, this man has you guys competing every year, regardless. And hey, we take him in a heartbeat. Just saying. So that's at Pittsburgh, and then we are home on a Sunday night after that against the Cincinnati Bengals. That should be a good game. We'll see if they've got their defense beefed up a little bit. We know their offense is amazing. They are very much, at least going by last year, the Miami Dolphins of the late 80s. You know, we're going to score 40 points on you, but our defense is going to give up 45. That's the way it seemed last year for them. So I feel you, Ohio, because it was rough, but it's fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Don't like the losing, but it's fun to watch. So then we are home again against Tampa Bay. That's a 12 o'clock game. So we did have quite a few 12 o'clock games, but I was more worried about the early September, October games. Don't have a lot of 12 o'clock games in September and October, but we did have a couple, so yay. But Tampa Bay, 12 o'clock, that's at home. And then we finish in January at New England. That game worries me, because I think New England will have it together at that point, and Miami doesn't play good in cold weather, especially in January. So that could be an issue. So that is the schedule. That is, and it's not bad. It's really not bad. Now I'm also gonna release a video, kind of going over it more, to let you know what I think about these games, chances, all those nice things. But looking at it in a whole, as far as the way the schedule is set up, I'm pretty happy. It's very spread out. I will say that. You know, it's away, home, away, home, away, home, away, away, home, home, Madrid, then home, away, away, home, home, away. So it's almost like in every other blah, 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 blah. I kind of like those stretches every once in a while, which it goes both ways. You got, when you end up with like 3 away games, it sucks, but when you end up with 3 home games, it's beautiful. But this is very even keeled. Again, primetime games, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 primetime games. That surprises me, because we were mediocre last year. I think we're going to be mediocre this year. But yeah, the Buffalo game is a Thursday night game in Buffalo. Then the Jets game is at home. That's a Monday night game right after that. Then you go down, we play Baltimore on Thursday night. And then you've got Pittsburgh on a Monday night in Pittsburgh. And then Cincinnati on Sunday night. Of course, now, I mean, the Sunday night Cincinnati game, that could be flexed. We'll see how both of those teams are doing. If they're both doing good, it will not be flexed. And then, of course, New England is to be determined, so it can be flexed one way or the other if there's anything going on as far as playoff scenarios and things like that. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primetime games. I should be excited about it, but considering we have only won like 2 primetime games in the past 3-4 years, but who knows? Maybe we can get it turned around. Doesn't look good, because the primetime games are Buffalo, which, just going off the top of my head, at Buffalo. I think we got a shot. It's early. It's early in Buffalo. That's a shot. The Jets, very much a shot at home on Monday night. I think we can win that one. Buffalo, I don't think we can win it, but I think we have a shot just because of where it's at on the schedule. Then Baltimore, I don't think we have a shot, period, in that one. But who knows? Maybe Weaver can conjure up how to stop Lamar Jackson. Who knows? He was their defensive coordinator for a long time. Or not defensive coordinator, excuse me. I think he was linebackers coach. Correct me in the comments. I can't remember. I think he was the linebackers coach for Baltimore. And then the other one is at Pittsburgh. If it wasn't at Pittsburgh, I would say we got a shot at that one, but it makes it extremely hard. But that one's on a Monday night. And then, of course, Cincinnati. I think that one's just hard in general. Their offense just looks like it's going to be amazing again this year. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, I think it's spread out really well. I'm really happy with the bye being in week 12. I think that's a real good spot. You got that run, and then you go to Spain. Come back, you got a bye week to kind of refresh, try to get some people healthy, and then go again for that last stretch. So I really like where the bye is. Honestly, I think that is about it right now. Like I said, we're going to go back into it, and I will tell you what I think as far as wins, losses, what we have a shot at. Spoiler alert, I don't think we got better this year. I don't really think we got worse this year. I think we're right there where we were last year. And I think we're a mediocre football team that's just trying to stay above water at this point and hope that we don't drown. But we know Greer and McDaniel, their butts are pretty much on the line. I don't know about Greer. I don't know. I'm not sure how he's still there. And he's done some great moves. But maybe it's the fact, I don't know if McDaniel was his choice. If it was, then the last few coaches were bad decisions. And that falls on the general manager. So I'm not sure how that plays out. But if we start off slow, one or two of those guys, one or both, are going to be gone. Definitely McDaniel. Greer may still have a spot because, like I said, he's weathered the storm so many times at this point, and he makes some decent deals. He's made some decent drafts. We'll see how it goes this year. I am excited about the draft class this year. I was really happy with the picks that the Dolphins made. We'll see if Weaver can get this implemented early enough where maybe the defense can carry some of the load. We absolutely need that because our offense can't, especially if there's any type of injuries to the offensive line. Of course, Tua, I understand that. So hopefully, which I want everybody to stay healthy. I wish it would be just you could turn the injuries off like you do on Madden and just let the teams play. But, unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So a lot of things can change on how we feel about these games. But first look, I do like the schedule. I like the way it was put together as a whole. But we'll go back over how I think they're going to do. But for now, we're just going to concentrate on that. I think it's a good schedule. Surprised that we have 5 primetime games. That absolutely blows my mind, especially not as bad as we were last year, but as mediocre as we were last year. So that surprises me. But overall, I'm happy with it. Love where the bye is. So, guys, leave a like. Holler at me in the comments. Do you like this schedule? Do you like? Do you think it's an even keel schedule the way I do, or do you think everybody's the schedule makers have just lost their mind again? But I like it. I like where everything's at. Love where the bye is at. So, Dolphins, please make good decisions and pins up.